Why at age 82 do I want to hike the Appalachian Trail? Well, I've been asked that, and that's really a hard question, but because there's multitudes of reasons. But I can tell you, I would have never attempted the AT if I hadn't have paddled the full length of the Mississippi River from source to sea. I bet I couldn't count the number of times I've heard people say, I hope I can be like you when I'm 81 or 82. It's just overwhelming to get joy that you want to get when you learn that you're being, looked at as an icon, an age icon in the field of adventure. We're at Dix Creek Gap and it's cold. It's starting to snow a little bit. It's going to be down in the 20s. Well, we have some snow on the top. I can see it from here. Matter of fact, about a couple of 100 feet vertical up there is a freeze line, and I'm looking at snow over here now. And 41 miles from Neal's Gap to here, and that'll be a challenge. Well, I started officially on 1 January this year, 2017, which means that I have to finish it by 31 December. I restarted again on I think it was the 27th of January, and I restarted at Springer Mountain again because a friend of mine was hiking in there, and I recorded that as well. How long is it going to take me to hike the Appalachian Trail? Well, if I get halfway, I'm going to do it. And I think it's probably going to take me about 3.5 months, or maybe a week less than that, to get halfway. So we're talking about 6.5 or 7 months to hike from Georgia to Maine. The 81-year-old, which holds the record now for oldest person to ever thru-hike the Appalachian Trail, well, he has the advantage of having hiked the trail before. And according to everybody that I've talked to, the conservancy people as well as lay people, if you haven't hiked it before, your chances of completing it in old age are really slim. But I'm out to make them rely on that one. I'm going to try to see if I can't do it. That just challenges me. And of course, everybody knows, I'm sure, what a thru-hike is in the eyes of the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. And that is, if you complete the trail in a 12-month period, and all of it, doesn't matter what combination you put it in, forward, backwards, or flip-flop, or straight through, if you do it in that 12-month period, in their eyes, it's officially considered a thru-hike. I think I probably have prepared better than the younger hikers, to be honest with you. I talked to them and they haven't done, I've been training since September, trying to get this old body ready for it, and I wasn't ready for those mountains, but I thought I was. I think that probably some of them don't, just like and I've done a lot of research, I didn't anticipate it would be that hard. And I think some of them are having the same feelings that I have. Especially, I think there was quite a few that quit or got off the trail, probably for good. The last of the 3 days that we hiked, I'm sure there were many that we heard stories about, many that just couldn't handle it anymore.
How was that last night, Dale?
Oh gosh, I couldn't get out of the sleeping bag. I was cold, but not, I could stand it cold in a sleeping bag, but I could not get out of the sleeping bag from the time we arrived until just a few minutes ago. It's really cold. I mean, it was down, I'm sure, low single digits, wind chill index. I ate some jerky and an energy bar, and I broke the rules. I ate in a tent. I actually ate in a sleeping bag. But I was to a point where I said, Bear, if you're coming, come on, because I'm gonna have to eat. I warm my hands. I'm gonna have to eat in the tent. I just couldn't get out to eat. I just couldn't do it. I had to figure out a way to go to the bathroom in a bottle and then pour it outside best I could. But I couldn't get out. Okay, if I just get that tent just folded up, any way I can get it rolled up, I'm gonna get it in that bag. As long as I roll it up. not going to pack it away in its proper way. I'm just put it in the sleeping bag. Put it in the backpack, whatever I can do. I had cramps all night long. If I bend my legs last night, I would get cramps. Every time I'd bend them, so I had to keep them out straight. So if I start having cramps, I won't be able to go any further. Even though I'm by the fire, my fingers are still just throbbing like, just like needles. I just can't feel anything. My pack weight, well, this last 3 days, because I had to carry some extra cold weather gear, a down sleeping bag, 0-degree bag, heavy, and a few other items of clothing that I had to carry extra. My pack bag was 25.5 pounds, but in the summer my weight is going to be between 19 pounds and 15 ounces and 22 pounds. You can book it because I'm going to make sure I get it less than 22 pounds and hopefully less than 20. What part of the trail scares me more? It's not the bears. I think probably the most difficult thing is finding a food that I can stick with, that I like, that I'm going to eat to keep my weight up to a point where I can have an energy level that keeps me hiking. Energy is going to be my biggest problem, and getting enough intake of vitamins and carbohydrates, carbohydrates and calories. I'm so tired I can't hardly chew. The muscles in my jaws are just too tired to chew. That's how tired I am. Seriously. Look at the ice in there. Yeah, I fell the other day, but there was a lot of ice on the rocks that day, and it was very difficult hiking. Not only was it ice on the rocks, but it was snow, and you couldn't tell what was under the snow. Well, coming down right back off those rocks, one foot slipped, and I went over into there by that dead tree, and this got caught between two rocks as I went in, and it just broke it right off. Like that. No, I didn't get hurt at all. That's the first real fall. That's the first fall I've had on the trail, really. You might say I fell yesterday, but it was only about half of a fall because the rock was right by my shoulder height, and so I just fell into that. So I wouldn't call that a fall.
Yeah.
But if that rock hadn't been there, I would have fell. Well, I grew up with a philosophy on the farm in Kentucky that if you can see the source of the water, you can drink it. And so I'm applying that here. If I see the source and I'm happy with the look of the source, then I'm going to drink it straight out of that. If I can't see the source, I mean, even if it's only 20 feet away, if for some reason I can't see it, I'm going to treat the water. I can see the source. Yeah, if that was a better source, I wouldn't treat it, but it's a big pool of water and coming out right there, but the pool's a little dirty. Yeah, it's long enough. That's it. Just treat it that quick. Stirring pan. I recommend it highly. Perfect. Treat the water on the AT. Oh, there's no question. I've heard people say if they'd rather go uphill than downhill. No way. I love downhill. But I like better just a slight downhill, almost level. That is ideal. I just enjoy the heck out. I can look out, see things, I'm not watching my feet so much. I love downhill. Hey, this is where I'm pitching my tent tonight, right here. I think I'll just take a little nap right here before I put my tent up. Well, yesterday we started right after 12 o'clock, and then one of the most miserable days I've ever had in my life, hiking. By the time we got to 11 miles, the shelter, it was full, and then the most coldest I've ever been in my life in a campground. I put up a tent at 6:15 last night, went straight to bed and didn't get out of that sleeping bag. I thought I would sleep all night, but gosh, I didn't get to sleep until around 2 o'clock. Every time I try to go to sleep, I hear something go, "Arr, arr." Is that a bear? Bears are still hibernating. Is it a coyote? I didn't know what it was. But every single time I would go to sleep, I would hear that. I said, well, is that me snoring? No, it's not me snoring. So I stayed awake for probably 2 hours trying to hear that again. And then finally I went, dozed off, go to sleep again. There it was. So it two or three more times. And finally I said, I'm going to stay awake until I hear it again. So guess what? I didn't stay awake. I went to sleep, but I woke up and I was snoring. So what I thought was a coyote right by the tent was actually me snoring. And it took me until 2 o'clock to figure that out and to go to sleep, all because I snore. Well, I've broken 2 or 3, actually 2 other age records, and I just think I'd like to add a 3rd one to the list. And I've been wanting to, I've had the AT on my bucket list for probably 30 years. I just never haven't been able to do it before, and to be honest with you, I never got brave enough to try it before. It's the first time I've ever really had a goal that just drove me to try it. What are we doing today? Well, we're going to do, I guess it's about the last 14 miles. I don't know how rough the terrain is, but I know one thing, it seems like it's going to get a little warmer. Right now my hands are a little bit numb, but I'm ready to go. I got my backpack with me, so I don't know if I call that slack packing or not. I'm just I'm extreme ultralight right now. We're gonna have fun today. I can tell you that much more than I have the last 2 days. Yesterday wasn't too bad though. That first day was like, whoo, that was miserable. That wasn't fun. Today'll be fun. I'm looking forward to Skyline Boulevard. I don't know why. In Virginia, I'm looking forward to Virginia, the whole state of Virginia. I love Virginia. I love the skyline, and I'm just absolutely convinced that I'm going to like it. I've heard a lot of stories. People say how they get depressed because it takes so long to get through Virginia. I don't think that's going to happen to me. When I lived in Northern Virginia, I just fell in love with the state. Yeah, okay. I might change my mind after you check in after that hike, but I doubt I will.
Can I get a photo of you? You got a cool face, man. When
you're 81 years old, you probably shouldn't be on the trail when it's in single-digit temperatures on top of the mountain with the winds that's gale force, and you're trying to survive in a tent with a sleeping bag. Everything is frozen, it's hard, everything is difficult. Your fingers get so cold I couldn't even unzip my jacket or pants. Anything. It's just really, really difficult. Oh, I want my finish date to be before it gets cold this fall. I don't care when it is, as long as it's before that cold sets in for the winter. Well, I would love to hike straight through to Maine, Mount Katahdin, but I'm not sure if I'll have the time to do that. Of course, one knows to get into the park in Maine, you have to be there by no later than the end of October, and I may be running a little late. You know, it's a possibility I can't get there by that date, because I don't want to get, if it snows, they close the park. So I would like to try to get there and at a time where I can enjoy the mountain and enjoy the hike out. So I just may decide to do what they call a flip-flop, which is perfectly acceptable and encouraged by the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. And I may, when I get to Harper's Ferry, that's where the headquarters is, I may just go to Maine and hike back to Harper's Ferry. I'm also thankful to my wife and family for making it possible for me to do this, because if they didn't, give me moral support, whatever support I needed, I wouldn't be attempting this record-breaking hike. 42 miles in the last 3 days. That's some pretty rough area too. No hiking tomorrow.
Why not?
Some of my sponsors, I guess the main one, the sponsor I had on the Mississippi Source to Sea was Spot Tracker. They're still with me. Spot's still sending pings every 10 minutes. Spot Tracker is a sponsor on the trail. Well, might do good if I could get the backpack on. From a satellite view, they can even see the tree that I'm camping under, if they want to go down and zoom in on it. Spot Tracker is a sponsor. Harmony House Foods, the food up the trail. I have several of the companies that have given me pro deals like Cedar Summit, Nemo, Mountain House, Sturry Pen, which they have provided free for me, and that is a really important piece of gear as well because of treating the water is going to help keep me healthy. The Spot Tracker, again, if they are not on Facebook, where I frequently post the link for that, all you got to do is copy it and post it to your browser and you can follow me. You can also get it on my website at graybeardadventurer.com. It should be, if the link is not visible to you immediately on the home page, then just go to the contact page and you'll see my Facebook link and you can get it right there. And while you're looking at the graybeardadventurer.com, take a look at a couple of tabs on the home page. One of them is a trailer for the movie that Adventureitus Productions produced of me paddling the full length. When I say full length, I mean the source of the Mississippi River to the Gulf of Mexico. And then not only is the trailer visible, if you take a couple of minute preview of, if you do that, you'll probably want to go ahead and purchase or rent the movie itself, and it's called Dale Sanders, Source to Sea. Anyway, I'm off and going again. See you up the trail.